The All-Star break didn't just give us highlights, it gave us a damn movement. We're talking StudBudz, Courtney Williams and T Spoon live streaming the entire weekend. Scooters in the hotel, Paige Becker's hitting Keisha Cole vocals, Cheryl Reeve dancing in the club. The commissioner was outside. The chat was in shambles. This wasn't a broadcast. This was a cultural reset. But now we flip the switch. The vibes are behind us, the playoff push is ahead, and the board is already showing public traps, sharp steam, and value spots if you know where to look. Let's break down Monday's slate and start cashing tickets, because if Courtney and T Spoon are going to carry the content, we might as well carry the cash. Welcome back to Split Labs, where the picks are powered by data, not just vibes. We break down where the money's going, where the public's getting it wrong, and how to find sharp edges in the daily WNBA slate. If you want breakdowns like this every day, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out splitlabs.net. Code YouTube gets you 50% off your first month. Let's get to work. First up tonight, Sparks versus Mystics, and the board is already loud. The spread is set at Mystics minus 3.5 with a total of 168, and the money lines got Washington at minus 168 and the Sparks as plus 136 underdogs. Now, here's where it gets sketchy. 66% of spread bets are coming in on LA. That's 2/3 of the public backing the Sparks like they're on some kind of hot streak. And I get it. They've got names. They covered 3 of their last 5 heading into the break. There's talent. But here's what the public isn't seeing. Washington's one of the sneakiest home teams in the league. They're 7-5 at home. They slow the game down, literally the second slowest pace in the W, and they're physical. They control tempo, and public teams hate that. Here's the kicker. 56% of the money is still on the Mystics, even though most of the bets are on LA. That means larger wagers, sharper action are backing Washington. And when 2/3 of the tickets are on one side and the line doesn't move, that's not public momentum, that's resistance. The books are holding the number because they know the sharps are right. This is a classic fade the trendy dog spot. Everyone wants to grab the points with LA, but the books are standing pat at minus 3.5 because they know the casuals are off. Washington's rested, they're at home, and they're just flat out more disciplined on both ends. This isn't a game LA can freelance their way through.
As for the total, 168, the under is getting 81% of the money, and that's not random. These are 2 of the slowest paced teams in the league. They both rank top 5 in defensive rebounding, meaning second chance points are limited. And coming off the All-Star break, first half legs are going to be heavy. This has all the signs of a slow, choppy, grinded out game. If this total starts ticking down to 167 or lower before tip, that's confirmation. If you're going to hit the under, grab it early. Or better yet, wait for a live line after a few buckets and jump in at 170 plus. Here's where we're landing tonight. Mystics minus 3.5, or if you see minus 3 pop, that's a green light. Under 168, but monitor it for movement, or play it live. And absolutely no Sparks ML. Public darling energy, but no real value behind it.
Real quick, if you're into breakdowns like this, you'll love what we've got going on at splitlabs.net. We track public betting splits across every sport. NBA, MLB, NFL, you name it. Plus matchup insights, team rankings, and even prop predictors to help you spot edges before the lines move. This isn't just picks. It's the same data the books are using to set prices, and we make it easy to read and actually use. You can try it free for 7 days, and if you like it, use code YouTube for 50% off your first month. No BS, no sportsbook affiliation, just clean, transparent data for smarter betting. All right, back to the breakdown.
All right, fam, if you thought our start was electric, buckle up. Game 2 is the Chicago versus Minnesota showdown, and this one's got StudBudz energy and MVP vibes written all over it. We've got Courtney Williams and Teaspoon, the infamous StudBudz, still riding high from All-Star Weekend takeover, and Napheesa Collier straight up set the All-Star Game scoring record with a historic 36-point MVP performance. Are we really surprised the public is loving them right now? I mean, come on, we are too. All right, let's talk about Game 2, and it's a big one. The books are giving Minnesota some serious respect here. The Lynx are laying a monster minus 14.5 on the spread, with a money line of minus 1,300, and a game total sitting at 159.5 points. Minnesota's win probability, an overwhelming 86%. Chicago, just 14%. This is what we call a blowout spot, but the question is, are the markets giving us anything to work with? Let's break this one down together. 76% of spread bets are on Minnesota. 68% of spread money is on Minnesota. 66% of the money line tickets, Minnesota. 89% of the money line cash, yep, also Minnesota. So not only is the public loving the Lynx here, the Sharps are too. That's a lot of real money backing this squad in a game they're expected to dominate. On the total side, 159.5. We've got 55% of bets and 63% of money landing on the under. And honestly, that tracks. The real storyline here. The Lynx are the hottest team in the league. They're 20-4 overall, and since Napheesa Collier got fully ramped back up, it's been a wrap for most teams. And let's not gloss over what just happened over the weekend. Collier just dropped 36 points in the All-Star game, broke the scoring record, and took home MVP honors. She's not just hot, she's locked in. We're talking MVP energy, and it's spilling straight into tonight's game. Also, we can't ignore the StudBudz effect. Courtney Williams and Teaspoon brought entire league culture to life this weekend. From Twitch streams to scooter races to having the commissioner out there dancing, the Lynx are at the center of the league spotlight right now. That's energy that carries into the locker room, and you better believe this team wants to keep making statements. Meanwhile, Chicago's sitting at 7-15. Inconsistent, offensively challenged, and against a team like Minnesota that plays smart, efficient, tempo-controlling basketball, that's a bad matchup. They just don't have the firepower to hang for 4 quarters, especially if Collier starts hunting mismatches early. So what's the bet? Let's start with the spread. Lynx minus 14.5 is a big number, and the public is all over it. Normally, that might scare us off, but in this case, I don't mind it.
If that number creeps to negative 15.5 or higher, I actually like it even more. Why? Because the books are still hanging huge lines for Minnesota and getting money. That's confidence. The money line, no real value unless you're tossing it in a parlay or betting Monopoly money. But here's where I think there's some real edge, the total. At 159.5 and with 63% of money on the under, I'm with the Sharps. The Lynx defense is elite, Chicago plays slow when they're losing, and this feels like a 77-65 type game. Here's our official plays based on the data. Bet number 1, under 159.5. 2 slow-paced teams, 1 dominant defense, all-star hangover energy, yes, please. Bet number 2, Lynx, negative 15 or better. Especially if the line climbs late, I'm still comfortable. Fade the Sky ML. It's a public dream, sharp nightmare. No value. Minnesota's not just winning, they're rolling. Expect another statement tonight. Stick around, we've got one more game on the board and props coming later this week. Like, sub, and check out splitlabs.net with code YouTube for 50% off if you want to make these reads yourself. Also, don't forget to follow us on all socials at SplitLabs. We post some of this data right before tip-off so you can see where the money moves. All right, closing out the Monday Night W slate with a late one. Dallas Wings on the road against the Seattle Storm. Tip-off at 10 p.m. Eastern. And this one's already shaping up like a split trap. Let's dig into the board. Seattle is a solid -9 favorite. Moneyline sitting around -470 with Dallas at +330. Total's locked at 163.5, and Seattle's win probability,
sitting pretty at 80%, but the splits are saying something weird. 70% of spread bets are on Dallas +9 and 69% of the spread money too. That's wild. Nearly everyone is grabbing the points with a 6-17 team on the road. Meanwhile, Seattle only has 30% of spread tickets, but they've still got 31% of the money. That's telling. In the ML split, it's all Seattle. 84% of the bets, 79% of the money. The public thinks the Storm handle business. Totals are nearly even. Over-under split is sitting at 53-47 on tickets, but 58% of the money is on the over. Looks like sharp action wants points late. Seattle is a respectable 14-9 and very much in the playoff picture. Jewel Lloyd is a scoring machine, and they're finally getting consistent defensive effort. Dallas, man, 6-17. You want to root for them, but they've dropped 6 of their last 7, and they've covered just once in that span. So why is the public in love with Dallas +9? Recency bias. Seattle's been shaky as a double-digit favorite. They let bad teams hang around, but Dallas just doesn't finish. Let's keep it real. If you're betting Dallas +9, you're betting hope. If you're betting Seattle -9, you're betting execution. The sharp side isn't clear, but I'll tell you this. When everyone's on the dog and the line doesn't budge, that's usually fade territory. Now, the total at 163.5 is interesting. We're seeing sharp money on the over, likely banking on tired legs, transition buckets, and maybe a blowout fourth with backups running. Here's our official leans based on the data. Bet number 1, over 163.5. Sharp money's flowing here, and both teams can go cold to hot fast. Bet number 2, pass the spread. Too much public love on Dallas, too many questions about Seattle closing. That's 3 games on the board, and the second half of the WNBA season is officially on fire. We've got all-star storylines, MVP races, and playoff intensity cranking up every single night. If you're looking for edges like this every day and you want to bet smarter than the public, head over to splitlabs.net. Our models, betting splits, and predictors are all built for sharp bettors like you, where you can access the full board. Use code YouTube for 50% off your first month. Links in the description. Let's win together. Hit that like button, drop a comment with your favorite bet tonight, and don't forget to subscribe. More W content, more edges, and more cash coming all week. Let's cash out. See y'all tomorrow.